Shalom. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect across the four corners of the earth who firmly believe on Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawah. Now, this lesson is going to be entitled, Discernment is a Gift from the Most High. You know, because just like faith, just like wisdom, just like knowledge and understanding, you know, the attribute and the gift of discernment has to be given to you from Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawah. You really can't teach discernment, you know. The Heavenly Father has to impart that unto you, you know. And just like faith, as the scriptures say, if any man lack faith, let him pray to the Most High, for he giveth to all men liberally, you know. And here it is. I'm on the Edom Online, you know, dictionary, and I got the word discern here. And the definition for it is, it says late 14th century, from Old French discerner, 13th century distinguish between, separate by sifting, and directly from Latin discernere, to separate, set apart, divide, distribute, distinguish, perceive, from dis, off, away, cernere, distinguish, separate, sift, you know, related, discerned, discerning, you know. So in order for you to exercise that gift to separate, you know, righteous from what's wicked, you know, the Heavenly Father has to impart that gift unto you. You know, the Heavenly Father has to open your eyes for you to see what's wicked and for to see what's righteous, you know. But case in point, how when you ask the Heavenly Father for certain gifts, he's going to put you through a certain situation for you to receive that gift, you know. For example, with King Solomon, you know, just to grab that account right fast, in the book of 1 Kings, you know, King Solomon asked the Heavenly Father for wisdom, you know, because he was, you know, crowned king, you know, over the nation of Israel. And straight to the point here, this is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 3, verse 16. This was a situation that happened with two women, you know, for one, and they both had their own child. One was alive and one was dead, you know. But the Heavenly Father put King Solomon through this certain situation, you know, to pretty much exercise wisdom, you know, the pretty much an attribute that he asked for. And reading on, it says, this is 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 16. It says, then came there two women that were harlots unto the king and stood before him. And the one said, O my Lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. You know, so they both had babies. You know, they both had babies in this house, their own separate babies. And verse 18, and it came to pass the third day after that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also. And we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we two in the house. And this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it. You know, so pretty much she suffocated the child. And verse 20, and she arose at midnight. Salakia. And it says, and she arose at midnight and took my son from beside me, while thine handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I had considered it in the morning, behold, it was not my son, which I did bear. And the other woman said, nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. You know, so here it is, the woman who actually killed her child, you know, she pretty much switched the babies and said, well, the living is my son and the dead is hers, you know. So I'm going to read again, verse 22. And the other woman said, nay, but the living is my son and the dead is thy son. And this said, no, but the dead is thy son and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Then said the king, the one saith, this is my son that liveth, and thy son is the dead. And the other saith, nay, but thy son is the dead, and my son is the living. So here it is. The woman's child, who was actually dead, she was claiming the son of the living, you know. And the woman whose child was actually living, she was pretty much saying, like, no, my child is the one living, you know. So it's a situation here in which the king had to make a judgment and a rule to figure out who's actually lying, right? So verse 24, and the king